Hey guys, welcome to Super Lorcana World. Today I came across a very interesting question that was brought up in one of the Facebook groups for Lorcana. Something that is right up my alley as a card shop owner, someone who's dealt in the card service industry for years now. This is a really good one. Can someone explain why One Piece popped up in price while Lorcana didn't? That is the question we're going to answer today. We're going to go through the original Facebook post with all the comments and discuss if there's any nuggets in there of information or if it's just all trolls. And then I'm going to give you guys the answer to the question, or rather answers, I should say, and what Ravensburger can do to ensure that this game pops off, as some people like to say. If you agree with me or disagree, then let me know in the comments and let me know why, so we can have an informed discussion on it and not just say, no, you're wrong, with no substantive information. That's always a problem. And of course, please like and subscribe to the video, as always. So here is the question from an anonymous participant. We're going to start here and go into one of the comments. This Lance guy, he is a very opinionated person in the Digimon community. I believe he has a YouTube channel over there, I think. I could be wrong. But anyway, he has opinions, so let's go into them. Because One Piece is a popular IP, an actual decent competitive game, like most Bandai TCGs, that doesn't have adults pretending to want it for the kids, actually has good pricing. Bandai hasn't immediately cucked the value of all their OP product like Ravensburger did to appease people that buy nothing anyway. This comment is so intentionally dense that I don't know if it's sarcasm or if it's just not being educated. So we have to now break this comment down and go through the fake news and determine what actually isn't fake news in this, because there is some nuggets of information here. One Piece of popular IP is true. An actual decent competitive game is true. Like most Bandai TCGs, not true. No. I would not call DBS and Bandai, and Digimon, sorry, decent competitive games. Digimon used to be. Now, it's on the fence. DBS, unless the reboot fixes it, no. BSS seems okay. Union Arena does not seem okay. So there's that. That doesn't have adults pretending to want it for the kids. I guess that's true to an extent. Actually, has good pricing. That's true. We'll talk about that later, though. And Bandai hasn't immediately cucked the value of their OP product like Ravensburger did to appease people that buy nothing anyway. The last part of this is inaccurate. Ravensburger did to appease people that buy nothing anyway. This is the part I'm not sure is sarcasm or not. I don't know if he's just sarcastic or being stupid. I don't know which one it is. Because if you look at the Lorcana sales numbers, constant sales numbers, people have been buying product nonstop, both sets, since they've come out. People, you can just do a TCG player for information on that. And you look at the last One Piece set, it is similar. It is similar, right? If anything, and we're going to get into this later, the latest One Piece set might actually have less sales. So, yeah, a lot of this is important to keep in mind, but I think some of this is definitely wrong. Actually, I know some of this is definitely wrong, so we're just going to move on. Lorcana doesn't do fan service for 30-year-olds. I think that's a troll comment. I think. I know the guy. I'm pretty sure he's trolling. I'm glad Lorcana isn't jumping off in price. It makes it accessible to everyone, to which someone says this is how a TCG dies. Eventually, at some point, people begin to realize it's a continuous cash dump, and as a collectible hobby, if there is no value in the investment, people stop buying. There has to be a balance of printing where it meets the needs, but not printed to the ground, that the cards worth nothing. And someone just replies to that guy and says, yeah, that would be awesome. Collectors are a disease to games. Disease! A sickness. Contagion. Here's the deal, right? Lorcana was jumping off in price. It was insane. And then Ravensburger did their huge reprints. And now it's okay-ish in some cases, and for the other case, really good. So, yes and no. Collectors can exist, and there's definitely items for collectors. I don't think they're disease, but they do take away from the available base that the players have. That is technically true, but hopefully there's so much out there that the players can play the game, which is usually how it works in most cases. So, we're going to just move along from that and go to a very long essay. One Piece, firstly, has massively loyal and long-term player base with previous to One Piece TCG effectively no way to invest in the One Piece IP before. Now, Disney has plenty of ways to invest that give you Disney IP exposure to Lorcana. Second, Bandai has so many different games that they only have limited print run space, meaning that the overall supply of One Piece box cases is low, and once they stop printing the third rewave, they don't print anymore, which creates scarcity. Lorcana has lots of printing space, has printed these boxes into the ground. 3, card quality is the best of any card game out there for One Piece. Okay? And number 4, One Piece had regional national level events for effectively day 1, offering serial Luffy's alongside other prizes. Blah, 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 stuff and things. Okay. This is the key. This is it. This is the nugget. This is good. Card quality is fine, whatever. Bandai only prints a certain amount of products. It's true. And they don't go reprint crazy. Some sets don't even get a second or third rewave. They just don't. So this part's technically inaccurate, but is true in some cases. Regardless, Bandai is not as big into reprinting boxes as Ravensburger has shown that they are. Okay? And then One Piece has a massive IP. So does Disney. And One Piece had regional national events from day 1. Which is true. They did. One Piece hit off the gate really strong with events right away. Right. They didn't wait until set 3 or set 4 like Ravensburger is doing. They started it right away, which gave much more value to the product in One Piece because people actually had to start buying things for events. Now, Ravensburger has unofficial events. Some hit 200 players and higher. That's great. But they're not real. These are not real things. You know what I mean? What's going to be real in quotes before someone hurts me, is the Ravensburger events that they're going to be announcing sometime this month, hopefully. Those are going to be the real ones. That's when we'll see people actually buying the game for competitive stuff. Because me, I haven't gone too crazy. I have my cards that I want for set 2, and I don't have anything else. Why? Because everything else I buy, I sell, because I'm a store, and I don't really care. I don't have to go crazy this set, because there's no events to go to. So why would I go to events? Why would I buy product? You know what I mean? And I'm not the only person that thinks that way. I'm just not. I know it. I know so many people. I know at least 20 people, and that's just thinking off for 5 seconds there, that have told me I'm not buying this game until competitive events start. Which is good. I believe them. It's good. So this is the answer. We're going to come back to this in a second when I give you guys the actual answer. And then some guy here was actually hall monitoring, like, this guy grabbed TCG player listings and compiled some data, and I've determined that more Lorcana boxes have sold than the latest One Piece set. The problem with this data is the latest One Piece set has been out for a month. The original set of Lorcana has been out for LGSs since mid-August. That's 4 months. And this is also including the second set. So this is not a good representation. What would have been a better representation was, ever since this last set came out, how many boxes of Lorcana has sold in that point in time. Granted, there weren't a lot of TCG player sales in the first month or so of the game because resources were scarce. However, it's still a bit of a biased sample size, so I'm not going to use it right now. I'm just not going to do it. And the final comment here is regarding to print runs. Bandai decided to go one direction while Ravensburger made a different decision. Some guy comments here and says Ravensburger didn't decide anything per their own public statements. They don't know how to assess demand before initial printing, and they obviously still don't. And some guy replied, I'm going to talk about this just real quick, and then we'll move on to the actual answer to answer the question. Here's the thing. Here it is, right? I've said this before, and I'll say it again. I believe Ravensburger, only to a certain extent, knew what they were doing. Because when they sell out a product, it's going to create FOMO for next time. Because these people who wanted the product missed out on the first wave and are going to be extra incentivized to get it on the next time they see product because they really are going to want it. And it's going to create a constant cycle, a burn and churn until there's enough product to appease the masses, which there appears to be now, which is good. So I believe it was only slightly intentional. I still stand by that statement. Nothing anyone says will change my mind on that. Because it's a really good way. It's a really good way to bring people into the game through hyper low, not even landing them on actual cards because they're impossible to get. So, can someone explain the key factors why One Piece popped off in price while Lorcana didn't? Well, I'll tell you. And we already hit on pretty much all of it right now. Okay? So, there's one thing I wanted to show you to answer this question. I want you to take a look at the newest set. I want you to look at it real good. Look at these lottery cards. Look at these lottery cards. There is some insane value in some of these lottery cards, right? And this in turn has caused the boxes to go crazy because this has not been printed as much as the holiday run of Lorcana boxes. It simply hasn't. It just hasn't. And you can see how Lorcana, if you add all of Lorcana's lottery cards to them all together, I don't think they even add up to this. They might. I'm pretty sure they don't, though. Actually, they might. Whatever. My point is, you need a lot of enchanted cards to equal just this one lottery card. And something that matters is in Bandai cases of product, I believe One Piece is one lottery card per 2 cases. And a case is 12 boxes, by the way. And the same is for Digimon, which I specialize in. So it roughly takes 24-ish boxes to find a lottery card. Whereas it looks like with the second set of Lorcana, it looks like you need a lottery card per case. Maybe every 2 cases. Maybe. But even if it's either one out of 4 boxes or 1 out of 8 boxes. Not 1 out of 24 boxes. And the booster box price, the retail suggested price on Bandai product is smaller. It is this, right? Actually, it's a little bit. It's fine. $95, whatever. Okay, sure, whatever. MSRP, it's a little, not exactly that. I don't have the exact number in front of me, but Lorcana is $142.99 a box. This is $94.99 a box. So even with the extra box price, it's still not enough. It's just not enough. It's harder to get lottery cards in One Piece than it is in Lorcana. And on top of that, from what my people tell me, and I'm on a competitive team, Luxury Gaming, by the way, and other people as well, there is a shit ton of market manipulation in One Piece. More than in Lorcana. And the reason they get away with it more is because there's less product and less singles to deal with. You can easily manipulate something that's had only, 11,000 sales on those boxes, as opposed to Lorcana boxes, which there's a lot. There's a lot now. You know what I mean? It's harder to manipulate in Lorcana now because there's more, as opposed to One Piece where there is not. So, again, going back to the main question and now going back. That's one answer as to why. People in the One Piece market are manipulating this card market and they're scalping product. One Piece right now is currently a scalper's game. It is. Lorcana used to be, and now it kind of isn't anymore, which is good. It's a nice thing to see. But One Piece definitely is. You can find someone who buys a One Piece pack at fucking Walmart for $5-6 and will try to sell it for $10, $15 online. You see it every day. You do. That's not happening anymore in Lorcana. See, I think the anonymous participant of the question is a little bit uneducated because Lorcana was popping off in price, but it was the giant reprint that caused it to no longer pop off in price, whereas One Piece has had no such massive reprint, and they don't believe in such massive reprints, and that is why their boxes are always expensive, especially if they're good, which this latest set of One Piece is ridiculously strong. A direction upwards, north of power creep, is this set of One Piece. And the lottery cards are incredibly sought after and manipulated. So that's another reason why. And finally, yes, the competitive scene changes everything. The competitive scene in One Piece has cards that you can even come top 8 and sell for thousands. Thousands. And if you win, oh my god, crazy. Digimon used to have that, they don't anymore, and it was never to that extent anyway. And Lorcana doesn't even have it right now because they have no competitive events. So, if they want Lorcana to pop off in price, pop off, and get people buying this game, here's how you do it. They need to announce their competitive circuit. They need to have insane prizes that go for collectors' hearts and competitive players' hearts, and they need to sell well. And there needs to be maybe serialized cards. That's what One Piece does. Serialized. That really gets collectors' knickers in the knots. Serialized cards. If Ravensburger does serialized Steamboat Mickey prize cards, for example, that's gonna go fucking insane. People are gonna lose everything. They're gonna take out mortgages on their house to get these cards, especially if they're serialized. I know it. And that's just an example. I Steamboat Mickey's on the mind because of the whole domain release thing, whatever. But it could be Mickey Mouse. It could be another fan favorite, whatever. It doesn't matter what it is. I'm sure eventually, because Disney owns Marvel, Marvel will come in. Wouldn't it be really interesting to have a lottery card like the Avengers, serialized? People would go nuts. They would. Especially if you can only get it through competing in actual events. And then that will drive up the product prices, and people will buy more and more because people are going to buy product, and stores are going to buy more product to sell more singles to people who want to buy in play in these events. It's just the way it is. And then going back to the other important things, of course, if the price was going to pop off, there'd be less product, but there's a lot of product now, so the price is not going to pop off anymore. Hopefully, hopefully, hopefully. You know what I mean? There is that. And of course, there's the IP thing, but really, Disney is Weiss Schwartz, whereas One Piece is One Piece. It's not. They're on different planes. I'm not going to try to compare them per se. But I am certain, Ravensburger's decided they're going to print it so everyone can have it. That's fine. Collectors won't be able to make money anymore by buying booster boxes unless it's some anomaly, which does come up from time to time. You know what I mean? That would happen, and that could happen, and that's fine. But how they really get people is through chase cards. If they did serialized lottery cards, even, or maybe they had an Uber lottery card, an Uber enchanted card, that was one out of every 6 cases, or whatever, instead of one per case, or one for every 2 cases, or basically one out of every 4 or 8 boxes. If they had one out of 24 boxes, or one out of 36 boxes, that would also cause things to pop off. Because again, collectors would go hard looking for these cards. Stores would go crazy ripping open the product, buying more product in order for the attempt to sell one of these lottery cards to a collector for massive money. So, that's it. That's the answer. These are the answers. This is why One Piece is popping off when Lorcana isn't, but to be fair, it was, and Ravensburger changed that. And this is how you get Lorcana to pop off in price again. Will these things happen? I'm a pretty pessimistic person. I don't think these are the changes that are going to be implemented, but I got a video coming. I have a video coming on my competitive TCG Lorcana wish list, what I want to see. Maybe it's out this week. I don't know. Anyway, let me know what you guys think about this, and let me know if you agree or disagree with this, and let me know. See you later. Bye.